Kāhui, Rāhui, what's on top? Lockdown, lowdown, what you up?
Kia ora koutou. Welcome back to another episode of the Lockdown Lowdown to Kāhui, Rāhui. It's great to be back with you today. Looking forward to talking with Sandie Byrne, who is a kindergarten teacher based in Nelson. So let's bring her in and have a chat. Kia ora, Sandie.
Kia ora, Liam. How are you?
Really good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Please excuse the bedroom location. It's not one of those fake pictures. It is my real life bedroom. Alicia's got a full-on council meeting, and so she won the office today.
Good on her.
How are you going?
Yeah, good. Yep. Just trying to see what this new world of level 3 looks like and how it is going to pan out. Been interesting, but yeah.
What has the move to level 3 meant for you?
So it looked like we were going to be having children, but when we contacted all our whānau, they said no, they were really keen to stay at home, and those that we thought might want care or need care because they were going to go back to work had just opened their bubbles a little bit, and grandma was looking after them or an auntie or something. So yeah, of all our families, we weren't needed.
And so are you expecting that for the 2 weeks the 2 weeks so far of lockdown level 3?
Yeah. We will contact them again next week, but that was our understanding. They weren't interested in coming back to a level 2.
Oh, yeah. And so what does that mean for distance learning?
So it's back to phone calls and Zooming, and one of my teachers is wonderful at doing stories, and so he's been putting up a story every day, and some of our children who have declined the appearance kind offer of a night story in preference to having Shane read to them. So
Right. I totally get that. We've got them for Max as well, and so every couple of days he will sit down and have his lunch and have a story read to him.
Yeah, it's great. So yeah, we're making those links.
So you mentioned a Zoom meeting before. Is that for the children?
So we've done it with a couple of families where we've actually Zoomed so they could see us. But mostly it's just Zooming for staff, and yeah.
So what happens on little person's Zoom conference?
It's a lot of running around and guessing where they might have gone, and often looking at an empty room because they've gone to get something to show you. But you just wait and look very enthusiastic when they turn up again to show you whatever it is that they've been to fetch.
And so how long do you do that for?
10 minutes or so, just to let them see it, particularly for some of the children that have really struggled during this time, just to see someone familiar. We just literally dropped out of their world, and so they haven't seen us. They don't know where we are. So it's good just to spend a bit of time, hang out.
And I would imagine it'd be similar to intermediate, where that relationship is so important, even though it isn't ideal, the video conference still creates that connection.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's really important.
Oh, so cool. No, I'm just trying to picture how Max would handle a Zoom conference. We can't get him to sit still for long enough to read anything longer than a book.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much what happens. I've just got to show you this. It's in my bedroom. And so you just look at an empty wall for a wee while. But that's okay. They know you're there. And you're there when they come back. And that's important.
Yeah. How are your staff getting on?
Yeah, pretty good. They were, and me as well. We were pretty nervous about thinking about going back because it's a real shift. And I acknowledge all the things why we needed to go back and why it was important. But it was still really scary to think that, yesterday we all had to be masked up and gloved up. And then today we're going to have all these kids come in and it's going to be okay. And it was a mind shift. But once we'd had time to shift and actually think about it and plan how we'd work it and plan how we would have whānau coming in and what that would look like and how we would do all the cleaning and stuff, it became easier. But it wasn't easy. It was for 4 weeks we've been told not to go near anyone or touch anyone, or So yeah, it took a wee while, but by the time we were ready to where we would have probably started today, we were all okay with that.
And the other thing that I helped heaps, that I've seen help heaps, was when people had that conversation with their community and realised actually their community wanted to, the majority of their children to stay in lockdown during level 3. I think there was that fear that all of a sudden you're going to have 50, 60, 70% of your children back.
Yeah, and that certainly was a big thing. They said, oh no, we want our children to be safe, but actually we still want you to be safe as well. And so they weren't just coming from protecting themselves, they were actually thinking of us as well and wanting our well-being to be met as well. So that was great. You know, we really appreciated that they were thinking of us as well.
Yeah. Hey, do you get a sense that as we move to that new normal, anything that we've been doing during lockdown that we might carry on with? Have you kind of seen anything in your space?
I think that we've had a lot more connection with parents because, you know, we've been ringing them every week and having a good old conversation. Although we do that during the day in a normal sort of day at kindergarten, this was a real nothing else bothering the conversation. No other kids, you know, pushing each other or another parent waiting. It was just our time together. And so relationships, and so I'm really aware that that's an important time. So it's how do we continue that in that busy time of kindergarten? But I think it's something that we definitely have to work on. And maybe it's that we do have to continue those after session phone calls. How's it going? You know, let's just have a conversation.
Yeah, that's so cool. And I think considering the focus that we're going to have on health and well-being coming out of that, that kind of strengthened relationship with whānau is probably going to be a bit of an asset for that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Everybody's just got to care for each other, and we've all got to do that and look after each other. And I think that will come.
Oh, cool. Hey, let's move through to the lightning round. So 3 very short questions for you.
Yeah.
What's your approach to dress code during the lockdown?
Yeah, I've got my support the teachers t-shirt on and my as my daughter would call them, my fat pants on, my baggy track pants.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I won't be standing up right now. And what have you got planned for dinner tonight?
For dinner tonight? Well, I'm not on cooking duty tonight, so I don't know. I'll just have to wait and see what turns up on my plate. But so
I cannot handle dinner surprises. I need to know what's happening so that I can start to think about it.
Okay. I do that on the nights I cook. I have a plan and I think about it, and yeah. So.
And the last one is, what's a kind of tip for others working from home that you've kind of found out about?
I think that the big thing that I found out was give yourself permission to just chuck it all down and go and do something else for half an hour. You know, this is not how we work. For early childhood, to sit down for 2 minutes in a day, you're really lucky and you really cherish it. So yeah, it's not what we do normally. So that's the thing I've learned, is that when it just won't come anymore, go and look at something else, go and change the environment, and then you'll come back and you'll be able to carry on. But just don't fight it. Go for a walk.
Sandie, that is so cool. Thank you so much for sharing this afternoon. And I hope the move from lockdown level 4 to 3 goes really, really well for yourself and your staff.
Thank you, Liam. Thank you.
Ka kite.
Bye.